I was a college student. I was studying oceanography. I was also in a rock band and enjoying life. And then, because of an overdose on LSD, I had a near death experience. I literally felt my soul leaving my body and going off into this throbbing dark tunnel where I was speeding up and felt like I was transitioning from time into eternity. And I wasn't ready. That experience shook me up. I met an Indian guru, a man named Yogi Bhajan, and began studying under him. I liked the intense, disciplined regimen. We got up every morning at 3:30 in the morning, and we were involved in meditation or yoga or some aspect of our practice until 5:30 in the afternoon. I went into it very, very deep, to the point where I eventually became a teacher. I was teaching Kundalini Yoga at 4 universities in Florida. I had about 300 students who considered me their guru. I got a letter from an old friend of mine who told me he had walked in a church and heard an audible voice say, "Jesus is the only way." And he wrote me and told me all about it. Well, I wrote him back and said, "Larry, I'm glad for you that you found Christianity as your path, but I believe all paths lead to the same ultimate goal." Initially, I rejected that idea, but the letter kept eating at me over a period of several weeks. Meanwhile, the Tampa Tribune newspaper did a big article on me, and I thought it would increase my class attendance. Instead, it alerted this prayer group in town to start praying for me on a continuing basis. They had a 24-hour prayer chain, and they assigned somebody to be fasting and praying for me every hour of every day. One day, just out of the blue, I decided, maybe Larry has picked up on something I've missed. So I'm going to dedicate one whole day to the Lord Jesus Christ. Then I'm going to ask him to give me some kind of supernatural sign today. So instead of doing my normal yoga regimen, instead of meditating, chanting mantras, reading the Bhagavad Gita, and all the other things we did on a daily basis, all I did was read the Bible and pray to the Lord Jesus. And that afternoon I was hitchhiking. I had to walk or hitchhike everywhere because I'd made a commitment to own no material things. And so all I had was one change of clothes and a few eating utensils. Now, remember, I'm still praying. Even though I've left my house, I'm still saying over and over, "Jesus, if you're the answer, if you're the only way to the Father, give me a supernatural sign today." And when I opened the door to the van, I looked in and my heart jumped. On the ceiling of the van was a picture of Jesus that this guy had taped there. And I knew this is it. This is my encounter. This is my answer. And a few minutes later, he turned around and said, "Friend, can I ask you a question?" And I surprised him. I said, "Yes. What is it?" He said, "Have you ever experienced Jesus coming into your heart?" I said, "No, but when can I?" And he gave me this totally surprised look, like you're not supposed to give in that quick. He said, "You can wait and come to our prayer meeting tonight." I said, "I don't want to wait for a prayer meeting. If I can find Jesus, I want to find him right now." So we discussed some elements of salvation for a few minutes, and then I knelt down in the back of the van with him and prayed a simple prayer. I knew all of a sudden that everything I had believed before was false and the Bible was true. It was just this inborn knowledge that I had, that I'd finally connected with the truth. So that afternoon, I went to my yoga class at University of South Florida and announced to them that that would be the last meeting. And we didn't even do yoga that day. I just shared my testimony about how I found Jesus. Most of my students became Christians as well. And that week I went back to all my classes and did the same thing, shut down my yoga ashram. My life was completely changed.
If this story inspired you, take the steps to change your life. The first step is always to say, "Jesus, help me." Come On, Let's Go distributes hundreds of similar stories of lives changed by Jesus Christ. If you want to be part of this vision, go.